Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues. In the last episode, we proceeded with the Reformer's path, because it did look like the more interesting path. And so we're working through the focuses here with the presidential victory speech tree over here, which we need to purge the officers, which we're going to need some more political power for. So that is what we're going to do. But we also got the City of Crime focus done, which gives us a war goal against New Reno. I noticed right at the end of the episode that there's nobody here. And there's one division up there. There's nobody on this front. And so while I am planning this airdrop into New Reno, I'm not even sure I'm going to need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold these guys back into that
Enclave here.
army. Put them on that front.
This is Enclave main com.
Militia training. Let's go for guerrilla tactics. Alright, so let's go ahead and
Enclave here.
put these guys on aggressive. And let's just declare the war. And let's see how it goes.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main com.
I don't know why they decided to swap guys around like that, but so be it. There we go. There's their army. Alright, man from Cedar. Alright, Enclave Intelligence. Where do we begin? Is it their failure to predict a tribal from Oregon would blow up the rig? Their secretive ways that aren't subject to oversight? The removal of officers and politicians they deem a threat? Or maybe it's the fact that they were one of the few Enclave organizations that nepotism didn't exactly pan out, thus creating the stigma they now deserve? Regardless, many thought Enclave Intelligence died with the rig, as their officers and operatives hadn't been seen in over 30 years now. However, that was until Colonel Callahan arrived at Sierra Depot, holding the correct credentials and speaking about plans to reinvigorate the greatest intelligence apparatus in the post-war era. His charisma must have been maxed out because a lot of people are listening. Yeah, we'll take the Enclave Intelligence, which gets us some bonuses. What do we want to go for? Oh, hold on. Pause while I'm looking at this. Adds 2 spies. Adds cold feet, which grants intelligence gained from operatives, infiltrated assets. Alright, we'll go for that.
Enclave here.
Okay, so what that now does is give me a unified front. So let's go ahead and reset the front, reset the battle plan. Like, why are we like
Enclave here.
just recycling everything? Just go.
Enclave here. Yeah, you can say that again. Enclave here. This is Enclave main com.
Alright, looks like we've actually taken New Reno. Excellent.
Excellent.
Alright, the chaos that was the Battle of New Reno is coming to a close. Sierra Enclave is starting to enforce order in the city. Fighting still continues throughout the city. It's believed that the city will be back to normal in a few days.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright, we want to not wipe these guys out. There we go. Van Graff's request alone. There's nothing we can do about that.
This is Enclave main com. This is Enclave main com.
All right. We got our peace conference. We had an annex war goal, so we're going to go ahead and just straight annex them. That will do. Okay. Actually, I want to reorganize this a little bit. We apparently have no template for anti-tank rifles and support equipment. So let's go ahead. And we actually probably don't really need protectrons right now. Let's move that up there. Put those back in the list. No, we're gonna tell the raiders to stuff it. Send the army back to the den's border. We have doctrines. Let's go ahead and grab one of those. Yeah, we're gonna have manpower issues. Alright, so we have occupied territories. Enclave auxiliaries. Well, they had the most suppression. But light robots require the least amount of manpower, and they almost have as much suppression as the auxiliaries. No occupation. Local resources minus 20%, resistant growth speed plus 25%, required garrisons minus 100%, so no garrisons, no compliance gain. No. Local resources. Let's go with sporadic outposts. So if that's the case, then we are actually going to want protectrons. So... there we go. Okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. All right. We'll go with this one. The federal budget. With the conquest of New Reno, the Enclave must now deal with something it has put off for 2 centuries. The federal budget. When the Enclave ruled a series of vaults, an oil rig, and redacted, the Enclave relied on a command economy. Now that it rules a substantial population of wastelanders, it needs to tax them and spend money. For it seems that our wastelander soldiers want a salary, and our veterans want more than jaunty propaganda tunes. So we now have actual money. Okay, so that's the reason why we weren't building up any caps. Alright. From this wish to return. When contacted by leaders of a sizable company of Enclave remnants, they have survived the decades as raiders, greatly feared due to their advanced tactics and technology. Having heard rumors of the return of the Enclave, they are asking to be reinstated into our armed forces. While the extra manpower could be very useful, their disdain for the mutants rivals that of Anderson and his ilk. We must therefore consider the political consequences of accepting them into our ranks. I don't think I really have the option but to say yes. Change in popularity of elites. Base stability. Because the other thing is we need to keep the reformer faction above 50%. Alright, let's take them. And we'll figure it out. Thread defects to the Troll Warren. The Sierra Enclave's liberation of Reno has chased much of the city's riffraff to the ends of the earth. Among those who fled is Thrad the Immortal, one of the Master's greatest warriors. He has defected to Troll Warren, where he has rapidly risen in the first's ranks. These reinforcements will give the Troll Warren a powerful tool against the Washington Brotherhood, who is already overextended, oppressing its neighbors. It's like a Brotherhood problem. Encounter with the Crimson Caravan. One of our patrols stumbled upon an expedition of the Crimson Caravan. The squad leader, less trigger happy than some, has reported back requesting orders on how to proceed. The caravan is not close enough to confirm that they are faced with Enclave power armor specifically, but rumors of suspicious patrols in Nevada desert could reach the NCR nonetheless. NCR suspicion will go up by 5. You know what, that's fine. During their efforts to clean up some of the smaller criminal organizations in New Reno, Enclave soldiers have stumbled upon a treasure trove of pre-war audio tapes. The vast majority of the tapes have survived and hold long-lost tunes of the old world, collected by a wealthy crime lord over the course of decades. The propagandistic value of such a collection should not be underestimated, as very little music is available to those within the Enclave. Let's see. Base war support and base stability. Popularity of intellectuals, base stability. Political power and base stability. Political power and base stability. Alright. Major General Grimm speaks out in favor of Anderson. No. During a heated argument in the officers' mess hall today, Major General Grimm has loudly spoken out in favor of Franklin Anderson and his ideas about the Enclave's future. A few choice words were aimed at both the mutants of the NCR and President Granite. While the officer in question may be a capable leader in the field, we should note the opinions of the commanders we appoint to lead. What they say in the mess hall and over the radio will always affect their loyal soldiers. Speak to them personally. Douglas always had a way with words. This wouldn't be the first purist hardliner he brought into his side. One of 3 options will happen. 40% chance Major General Grimm loses purists. 30% chance Major General Grimm becomes a reformer. 30% chance of change of popularity of intellectuals minus 10%. Alright. Let's just unpause it here for just a second. Yeah, we're down to 47%. That's not great, but we'll figure it out. So I can't really afford to take any more change in popularity of... So it's a 30% chance that we lose... Converted. Expecting some sort of reprisal for the recent comments, Major General Grimm was surprised to be invited to the president's personal bunker suite for dinner instead. After a lengthy conversation over roasted Deathclaw and scotch, it appears that Major General Grimm has come to see things in a different light. After a discussion that lasted deep into the night, the commander left satisfied and with a new perspective on what it means to be an American. It appears the reformers have gained a staunch supporter in a night. Alright, excellent. Patrolling New Reno. For the first time in the Enclave's history, we have reclaimed an American city. However, New Reno's population does not yet see it this way. While some are hopeful that the gangsters are being pushed out, others fear and distrust the power-armored strangers patrolling their streets. Minor acts of resistance, such as throwing rocks or insults, are not uncommon as unsavory types test the limits of our troops' patience. If we appear weak, small arms fire may soon follow. Nation not to mess with the Enclave, gain base war support. Resistance targets minus 15%. We lose 5% legitimacy. Resistance target up. Compliance growth speed up. Resistance activity chance up. Gain 5% legitimacy. Lose base war support. We'll establish strict rules of engagement for now. Okay, that was a whole lot of stuff. Alright, let's get you on there. Like, do we really need to assign a Navy command? I don't think. Alright, what we need to do is we need to get above 50% and still have, what is it, 75? Yes, 75. We can take military exercises. If we don't have any manpower. Our trade node, New Reno, has finally thrown off its economic downturn. Okay, great news. Close air support plane. What are you talking about? Will that count? Alright, we got seed selection. Let's keep going with this line. Plant cultivation, manpower plus 500. Monthly population plus 20%. Appeal to refugees plus 2%. Okay, cold feet. So now we should have 2 new spies. Alright. Now we have control of New Reno. Oh, now we have some manpower. Okay. So let's hold off then. Let's take the military exercises. And let's hold a small speech. Then that will be enough. There we go. To purge, demote the purest officers. There we go. And then we can purge the officers. Yeah, we're gonna have some issues with some resistance, but we'll get it taken. Oh, actually, what we can do is let's get you on rooting out said resistance. Exploration for technology. The heads of Butcher Pete's have asked us to sponsor a scavenging party. We don't have any money. Oh, and let's make sure that you actually have a battle plan. We are still technically justifying a war goal, so... We are getting some resources. We're still short those advanced components. What's the level of NCR suspicion? National focus canceled. Why? Less than 30% support for Purist faction. Really? Alright, can we make the wild promises? Just get us there? Alright, new operative. Make sure that we're rooting out the resistance. Mr. President, we're hearing disturbing reports. We don't have enough. One report of an NCR spy stumbling into one of our conference rooms. So I don't have enough to hide my activities. Let's see. Cease mercenary expeditions. Let's see, that's 90 days. Yeah. That'll wear off. Work on some of these perks. There we go. Free folk was annexed. Okay. Alright, resistor is complete. Vacuum tubes. Alright, looks like that is going to complete. That's good. 2 sunny cowboy country have signed a white peace. Okay. Alright, purge the officers is complete. New operative. Bring you in. Less than 15% support for Purist faction. That's going to take some work. Alright, well. Okay, we only have 15 suspicions, so there's no real reason to take that right now. So I guess we'll work on the City of Crime. Let's go with checkmate. The new California Republic has declared war on the Rapids. Alright, dealing with the bishops. The bishops may have been the most powerful family in New Reno. Mr. Bishop himself is a dangerous man for many reasons, one of which are his numerous political connections in the NCR. The crime lord's gangsters were loyal enough to face down the other families, but the sight of XO1 power armor sent them scattered. He has retreated to his mansion, accompanied by only his closest and most loyal, surrounded by our forces and trapped. This event, their brothers? Capturing their assets, we get 3 building slots, 3 civilian workshops, and 200,000 bottle caps. Or we apprehend the leader, which gives us 75 political power and 10%, minus 10% resistance target. All the 200,000 bottle caps and the civilian factories would be nice. I wonder what that event is. Let's see. On orders from the president, DNA tests on Granite along with a sample we collected from one of the bars Mr. Bishop frequents, are surprised they're half-brothers. There seems an impossibility since Granite was the son of an Enclave soldier. Mr. Bishop was born from one of the Bishop family matriarchs. The official story is Granite Sr. visited New Reno. Unofficially, Granite's darkest secret is his mother was the chosen one, which he's told a few only in his inner circle. That leads to more questions. The only person, however, to settle this conundrum is Mr. Bishop. The soldier that he is, Granite has expressed willingness to give himself as a hostage with the information to present to his apparent half-brother. Granite walked into Mr. Bishop's mansion, a heart rate monitor on him. The first sign of something wrong, Enclave soldiers are ready to storm the mansion. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's get this one. A shared dream. And for 2 days, everything remained silent from Granite, though his heart rate monitor indicated he was alive and even slept through the night. Much to our relief, he walked out smiling and laughing with Mr. Bishop. Apparently the two had become best friends. Mr. Bishop was happily agreed to not only turn his assets over to assist the Enclave, but he's also even going to use his contacts in the NCR to reduce some suspicion. When questioned, Granite said Bishop ran his own test, and yes, they were brothers. The standoff has finished without bloodshed, and Granite has returned to his post on the condition that Bishop be granted full rights afforded to members of the Enclave. While a few protested, Granite was quick to silence them, either by words or the fact that Granite can be a ruthless son of a bitch. Just like his half-brother. Mr. Bishop, meanwhile, has even agreed to help disguise their operations as New Reno, further avoiding confrontation with the NCR, but even his reach is not infinite. Of note, Granite's father is not Bishop's father, therefore their common parent is the Chosen One, who gave birth to Granite and impregnated the Bishop. The statistic that the Chosen is a hermaphrodite are slim, but not impossible. Gave birth to Granite and impregnated the Bishop matriarch. Disguising as New Reno, how interesting. Suspicion will go down by 20. Sierra Enclave will be known as New Reno. Resistance target minus 10%, and we get the 3 building slots and civilian workshops. We want to disguise as New Reno? You know what? I think we are going to go ahead and disguise ourselves as New Reno. Politics 101. No. Politics does not work that way. You cannot just punch a politician who you disagree with, Bishop yelled. Granite let aside. The reformer purist power struggle showed just how inexperienced Granite was with politics. Anderson could practically dance circles around Granite and was barely able to win with the help of his allies. Obviously, a president requires a different skill set than a mercenary commander. Therefore, Granite asked Mr. Bishop to teach him how to be a proper politician. After all, the notorious Machiavellian Mr. Bishop had a wealth of experience running New Reno, plus his personal relationship with Granite means he is willing to help. However, Granite proved even more politically inept than expected, much to Mr. Bishop's frustration. Bishop opened his desk and took out a few books. Lying congressional style was written on the cover. I suggest you read up on these books first. Once you understand the basics, come back and see me. Alright, we get 50 political power. Okay, so we are New Reno now. Quote unquote New Reno. Okay. So there we are. Alright, but I think this will be the end of the episode. Do we still have NCR suspicion I have to deal with? We got Wild Promises, which is going to eventually expire, and that's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Yep. Well, we did what we had to do, I guess. Let's hold that small speech. Okay, so we don't have that ticking thing where we have to basically disguise our activities, because we are now disguised. Okay. I'll have to see what options we have. All right. But for now, we'll go ahead and stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.